Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is VIsh Mathur. I'm the Global Head of Engagement at the Telecom Infra Project. I have two esteemed colleagues with me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elad Blatt, and I'm the Global Head of Biz Dev, Telco Networking and Security at NVIDIA, and very happy to be a co-chair at Telco AI at TIP.
Fantastic. Elad, Olli?
Yeah, so CTO at TIP. I'm very pleased to be here. Good morning to everybody.
Fantastic. So, gentlemen, what we're going to talk about is specifically Fyuz, but not just at Fyuz, a specific session that is running at Fyuz, where we're really going to have the opportunity to showcase some real innovation in the AI space. If I may, I'd like to pass to Elad first. Elad, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about what your role in the Telco AI PG is as the NVIDIA co-chair, what you've been trying to instigate across the industry with the telcos, and maybe a little bit of a sort of a primer on this session that we're talking about as well.
Sure, Vishal. So what we've noticed at NVIDIA is the age of AI is upon us. And the number one question on telcos' minds is, how do I monetize? What's the silver bullet? What is that application that everybody wants to put on? How do I really not miss the opportunity to make money out of this? And there's a good news and bad news scenario. But the good news is there is definitely money to be made and there's definitely an opportunity. The bad news is it's not one silver bullet. It's AI as a silver bullet. As such, there's plenty one can do. And what we're trying to do at Telco AI, the group, is really open up all the options in front of telcos to make them see all the journeys they can take in AI and then just pick whichever ones suit their fancy. And what we've noticed is telcos could be very strong at enterprise or at consumer apps or government or Fed or whatever the case may be. They need to choose a path. They need to choose their anchor tenants of their network. Some of them already have anchor tenants, and then just infuse AI into their offerings. In order to make that easier, we are setting up this session. So I don't know if you want to talk about the session a little bit or just dive into it.
Yeah, let me tell everyone what the session is. So at Fyuz, broadly speaking, yes, as Elad has alluded, AI will be a part of the themes that will be brought to Fyuz on November 3rd to the 5th in Dublin. But we have a very specific session, which is called the Telco AI Innovators Forum. It's a 1.5-hour session running on November the 4th afternoon, just before the happy hour networking drinks. And really what we try to do and set up here is a session where we can allow startups to come to the table with some innovative AI solution ideas. And this would be presented to not just a judging panel that's composed of the TIP board, but also the broad audience of other telcos, vendors, integrators, and hyperscalers in the audience as well. Elad, let me go back to you. Why is this important? From your perspective, why are we bringing startups to Fyuz and bringing startups to the telcos?
I think this has been identified on many fuses, including fuses from past years, as one of the main gaps. Telcos not talking to startups directly, because telcos have to think about their operations, their real-time networks, the resiliency of those networks. They don't always tend to focus on the newest startups and the most exciting startups, but startups need telcos and telcos need startups. And what we're trying to really accomplish here is, like it or not, it's a matchmaking session, really like a speed dating, if you will. Every startup will have 15 minutes to wow our judges, to wow our bachelors in the audience, the telco bachelors. And then we have a networking event right after so they can actually go and talk to each other. So it's a really interesting way of doing matchmaking, but we really think that 15 minutes from each of these great guys like AI Able and Personal AI and G-Core and many others are really going to give them a good idea of what these guys can accomplish for them and what they can do together. As well as in the audience, we'll have additional startups and additional innovators. So the networking event after will really allow the telcos to pick a partner, a dancing partner, could be more than one, to go on this journey with and just try them out. We've heard from telcos many times that, hey, where should I start? How do I get workloads on my network that I can actually sell? Well, these guys are these type of partners that can do this.
Absolutely. Fantastic. And these are the 5 that are coming that are actually putting their time and resource and money to come to Fyuz to actually present. It's fantastic that these 5 startups can come. I believe you've had some sort of, engagement of them as NVIDIA in the past, but any sort of specifics around those 5? You mentioned, 2 or 3 there, Able and Personal AI and G-Core as well, and there's Scientific, I think, Varnish Software. Those are the 5, if I remember correctly. Anything you want to say about
Yes,
those
correct.
particular 5 that you've worked
Well,
with them in the past
what
or
we
anything?
try to do is really set up a very wide type of net. Every single one of these partners will talk about something a little bit different. So Able will talk about how to set up agents for the edge. Personal AI is an agentic worker. G-Core is inference everywhere. Scientific will talk about how to create a network of agents for your telco infrastructure. Varnish has a way to move data. So it helps you as a CDO or as a manager of the data to get a really clear and crisp understanding of your data and how to best utilize it. So each and every one of them contributes something to a slightly different part of the business, but it's really all about enabling telcos to be really well positioned when they're selling out these additional services and really adopting additional services.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Elad. Olli, let me move to you. We sit in TIP and we're trying to drive transformation in the telco industry, especially within the guys that Elad is talking about. Why is this important to TIP? Tell me a little bit more about what you think TIP could be doing, not just at Fyuz, but beyond Fyuz as well, as a part of the matchmaking that Elad was talking about.
Yeah, as you know, so TIP is all about bringing new innovation, accelerating and scaling solutions for the telecom industry. And one of our major functions is convening. So obviously we are doing that at Fyuz, but in a more micro scale, we are actually doing that with this innovation forum as well. So for the CSPs and telcos, we are bringing the innovative companies to them, and for the vendors participating, we want to offer more opportunities and also a way to scale their business in the telecoms industry. So this will be a great event and a kind of a showcase for us as a Telco AI crew, but also wider as TIP for the showcasing innovation that is out there that we can help to all scale and help to make real.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you're saying there around not just convening, but also the showcasing of innovation. I would say that maybe, one of the parameters for the Telco AI PG, both of you sitting there as leads, is probably trying to create that platform for allowing more startups, developers, academic institutions to come in and offer up their products and services in a way to allow them to technically and operationally sort of get more involved with the larger players, right? Um, is there more that you want to say about that? I mean, the Telco AI PG and as it evolves?
Yes, so I think if I come back to Fyuz this year, I think what will be different this year if you come to Fyuz and Ireland is that you'll see a lot more startups, a lot more smaller companies, and actually more developers joining Fyuz. So we do have also the hackathon that we are putting in place just prior to Fyuz. So 2 days prior to Fyuz in partnership with AWS. So that will also bring even a younger developers and some academia as well as to Fyuz. So as one of the themes will be definitely innovation. And what TIP can provide is that we can naturally match make that to maybe a bit more mature and industry and a larger players that are our members. So we intend to follow up with many of the companies and try to facilitate a separate matchmaking opportunities where the interest lies. I think it will be great for all participants.
Yeah, absolutely. I managed to have a conversation with Able.com, the CMO there, and he and his team were actually quite excited with the prospect of being able to directly speak to specific stakeholders within telcos or vendors who have a vested interest in trying to look at how do I fuse AI into my network topology and drive optimized service and actually take it to market. Elad, is there anything else that you'd like to say from an NVIDIA perspective?
Maybe not from an NVIDIA perspective, but just on your point, Vishal, I think all of these partners, all of these small companies are very interested in working with telcos. Some of them already work with telcos
Yeah,
and they work with us and they work with Intel. So I think we're really already launching into something which is a little bit more mature. It's not a 5-person company that was born yesterday. It's more of a company that already has services that tomorrow morning, or you asked about what's next, right? We want after Fyuz to be a lot of interaction between these companies and the telcos, and to launch some POCs. And actually, one of the telcos that spoke to us said exactly that. They said, if we find one or two that we really like, we're going to launch a POC almost immediately. The target would be to make as many successful matches as possible to get everybody happy, because we feel it's the right time and people are ready for this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've pretty much done with the question set from my side. Just a reiteration to the audience, fyuz.org, November the 3rd to the 5th in Dublin. If you haven't registered yet, please register. Add on to that, the Telco AI Innovators Forum, a specific session that Elad has already just talked about, where we have 5 showcases, great startups with some very well distinguished product and service set already in the market, already looking to try and grow, very prime for the telco sector in that respect. So these guys are there. They're looking to try and showcase what they've got, but also connect with larger players in the market. Fyuz itself, within that session, we will have our board members, as many of them there. So from AT&T to Orange, Telefonica, Intel, Meta, then the others as well, Vodafone, Deutsche Telekom, etc. But also the other telcos who are there resonating around the Fyuz agenda, certainly invited them along to the table as well, because this is not just an affair in North America or Europe. We're going wide as possible. So this is a great opportunity for those guys, but also for the larger players to try and find those points of innovation. So make sure you register, make sure you attend. And if you're already attending to Fyuz, please go to that session, 3:30 to 5 p.m. on the Tuesday, November the 4th, just before the Guinness opens up on the happy hour.
Looking forward to see you in Dublin.
Yeah, come and join us.